Hello everyone and welcome back. This is game 2 in the series between Doni the Psycho and Scrambles. Doni the Psycho chose the map. This time he chose Lowlands. Actually a pretty great map. We'll talk about that in a second once we get to the setups, but Scrambles seems to be, again, sticking with what works. His army is virtually identical to what we saw in the last match, except he has a Kisho Ninja off hidden over here in the trees. Doni's done some adjustments, brought a little more cavalry. I think the only difference is he has one light cavalry and one bow cavalry this time. His bow complement is bigger, with 2 bow Ashigaru and 1 bow warrior monk. No hero this time, no katana hero either, but he has 6 katana samurai. Only 2 Yari Ashigaru, or an Ashigaru and a samurai, so cavalry combo is a big threat, but since he was able to deal with it pretty effectively in the first game, maybe he's thinking he doesn't really need a huge spear core to deal with this. Now, as I was saying, Lowlands is actually a pretty great map. At first it looks like it's one of those boring flat maps that everybody loves so much. But there's some subtleties that make this map actually pretty entertaining to watch. Actually, I'll talk about in a second, because Scrambles is just going straight out for an attack here. I think he definitely has a cavalry advantage here, as there's a light cavalry and a bow cavalry among this. And he's just going to push that cavalry advantage right away and have a cavalry battle. The cavalry here was separated and not going to be able to be reinforced by the infantry. He was trying to get the building and thought his cavalry over here would be enough of a safeguard, but it's not. And he's just going to be sacrificing his cavalry early. Scrambles is going to have a huge advantage here with only 2 spear units for Doni. It's looking pretty bleak right away. Now, I'd definitely be moving a unit over here as quick as I can just to get the horses scared away, if nothing else, and then worry about the dismounted light cavalry. Kyoshin Ninja are coming out of the woods. They have stealth activated, so I don't know if they've been seen yet. Probably not. They surely have now, though. Gonna maybe try and throw a bomb. Nope, not enough time. Just going into melee, and the Kyoshin Ninja make short work of light cavalry. Already killed 13 men in that initial charge. Lost 4 themselves, so no problem there for the light cavalry. Anyway, now I can talk about this map. Not one of those flat, boring maps exactly. It is flat, but there, like I said, there were some subtleties that make it pretty interesting. Like the river here makes for some nice exchanges with cavalry. You can't just walk across this river with impunity. And there's actually a nice little hill here that if you maneuver right, if you catch the enemy in the river, it's a huge advantage for you. Also, the tree stand in the middle makes a nice little engagement point where bows are nearly useless. Well, I shouldn't say that, but not as effective. And this hill over here on the east side is deceptively steep. It looks like it's just kind of a nice little, elevation right here, but there's a nice little hill here. It's actually a nice elevation to be sitting an army on top of, so I think those subtleties over there make it a very interesting map. There's just kind of hills and flats everywhere on this map, which make it very subtle that a good general can take advantage of. It looks like Scrambles over here just going to be repositioning, capturing this sword dojo. Not going to try and get the workshop. I definitely be trying to get that, as there's nothing Doni can really do to stop it. But oh, there's Great Guard. There actually is some cavalry coming out of the trees here for Doni the Psycho. Yari cavalry and a Great Guard. Surely that's the last of his cavalry, right? I guess we'll see. Scrambles cavalry is poised to strike over here on the western side. Infantry is just staying back. It is Doni the Psycho's. The onus is on him to attack, what I mean to say. And it looks like he's trying to do some early cavalry action. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. The spears are moving nicely for Scrambles, and he's just going to hit a wall if he tries. Pulling back, wise choice there, but he's got to be moving his infantry in. It looks like he captured a building. That is the archery dojo, I believe. Yep, the archery dojo. So that will help him with 3 bows. Maybe that's why he chose this setup and this map, knowing the archery dojo was there. You shake that one and try and push a skirmish advantage. But Scrambles is in a good position to defend against a skirmish advantage. Now, I feel like I should talk about this because I didn't talk about this in the rules, because I never play classic battles or the single player. I forgot that you could have these walls here on defense. And since there's no rule against it, I can't make a rule now saying that you can't use them. I prefer if you wouldn't, just to keep things kind of even, but, I didn't say anything about it, so I guess I can't say that. If you are the designated defender, insist on being the defender in the game, so you can use them yourself, or the enemy just won't be able to. So, something I just neglected to mention, and we'll have to keep that in mind in future tournaments. So, just wanted to talk about that for a second. Doni the Psycho is just keeping his cavalry back in the woods here. I'd keep him. Oh no! Right into the matchlocks. Only lost 5 men. Lost 2 men. Not too many, but he's got to be more careful here. Lost 9 men there. Could have been a lot worse though. Just kind of checking. No, that was a perfectly clear field of fire. I don't know how he only lost 9 men. He should be thanking his lucky stars that he only lost 9. I guess it is only a Yari, or a matchlock Ashigaru. Oh, and they're reforming though, but I think, yeah, there's a hill in the way, so they won't be able to shoot him. But, still got to be more careful. Uh-oh. Oh, what's he doing? He's got to stay behind this hill, though. Can't afford to take another shot like that. Here they come up in front. Taking shots from the bows now. Trying to get around. Oh, not sure I agree with going right into the melee line right now. I think he needs to save that cavalry to get some sort of infantry change in emphasis, momentum, whatever you want to call it. There's a skirmish battle started now between the bow cavalry and the bow samurai. Bow samurai are probably going to get the better of this one. Or actually, bow ashigaru, he did change his setup. So the 2 ashigaru and the 1 monk. They don't have a good shooting angle, though. Well, it's not bad, I guess. Looked a lot worse than it was. Not too bad. Who are the bow cavalry shooting at, by the way? Yari Ashigaru's got him already down to half health. That's actually a really good target for Scrambles to be hitting right now. Normally you don't think of Yari Ashigaru as being very high value targets, and normally they're not. But since Scrambles is such a big cavalry advantage, if he can take out Doni's only 2 spear units on the field right now, he will essentially have a free victory as long as he can micro well, because there's nothing to stop this cavalry from crashing into his rear. He's going to be totally done. He has 2 great guards still, and 2 Yari cavalry, and they're just going to be able to wreak havoc. Have taken some losses, that's for sure, but still absolutely plenty to just tear through this line. Does have a Nagina monk, and again, they might have to pull out some serious micro to try and take out Scrambles, but I don't think it's going to be enough against 4 cavalry units. They only had to deal with 1 in the last battle, those monks, so again, since the missile attacks are technically, you know, he is fighting a missile, this will not count against him in terms of being designated attacker. Moving out to shoot at the Kisho Ninja, who are hidden. They've captured the sword dojo and the workshop, so Scrambles is going to have a big advantage in the melee fight, especially if that cavalry manages to get around his spear units. And it could be a very quick infantry fight. He's got to push his archery dojo advantage. The only thing he really has to maybe pull this back into it. Kisho Ninjas have stealth again, and they have activated it. They just now appeared. Oh no, these bombs could be huge. Killed about 20 men with that bomb in that bow ashigaru. Let's see how many more. That music signifies something's happening, but maybe not. Cavalry is moving around to the rear. There's the Yari Samurai blocking their way. The bows are now shooting into the Yari Samurai, which is a good target for them. The Kisho Ninjas could actually just clean up the bows here, they haven't lost any men since the initial cavalry engagement, that light cavalry, and the morale's already in the red here for the bows, so this could be absolutely huge. If we can take out these bows, there's essentially nothing that Doni has as an advantage. Hit with whistling arrows as well. I'd actually, if I were Scrambles, I'd be attacking right now with those whistling arrows in effect. I think he went a little early for the whistling arrows, but not a huge deal, as he does have a nice little advantage. Well, the infantry battle's fairly similar. These matchlocks will be pretty huge, though, if he gets them to a good firing line, and of course that cavalry is the big looming threat here. One bow unit's been routed, the other one is in red morale and declining. Kisho Ninjas have only lost 4 men so far, so they will definitely be worth their upkeep. Melee battle has started. It's only going to be 3 right now. Scrambles is keeping his reserves. Yari Ashigaru moving around to flank as there is still cavalry left, unless I missed them getting annihilated. So maybe should be a little careful with his micro here. His general is totally open. If I'm not mistaken, there should still be a cavalry unit hiding there. Oh, maybe that was it. Great guard there, 20 men. I think that was the one that was hiding in the trees. So maybe he doesn't have that cavalry. That could have been an ace in the hole right now. Matchlock Ashigaru out of good firing angle will be essentially useless. He's moving up a little bit, shoot into the general maybe. He's got a nice clear firing angle from this side. Cavalry's moving in to finish off the bows. Not a bad decision there. Just leave the infantry totally isolated. He's going to have no cavalry or missile units to back him up. And with 2 buildings in his favor and a decent infantry side, I think he's got a little bit of an infantry advantage maybe even now. For Scrambles, that is. Scrambles. Looks like he's going to be able to clean this up no problem. Great guard is 16 men there. Though they are breaking, the war cry is causing his line to waver over here, but the matchlocks finally have a decent shot into the general, and will be taking full advantage of that. Cavalry sending all the cavalry into one spot. Not the best use of the cavalry there, but getting blocked a little bit by the Yari Samurai, so it's not huge. Doni's putting his general in stand and fight where they'll be fairly safe from the matchlocks, but they might still be able to get a shot. Yari Ashigaru is still not moving. Probably should be moving them around to flank as well. And the cavalry is just going to be coming along this path and making for one big final charge to finish this game off, take the series 2-0. It's all coming down to the wire, but again, it looks like Scrambles just has too much at this point in the game, and Doni's not going to be able to tear through that. Just too many bodies. And of course the cavalry charge. You can never underestimate a cavalry charge. There we go, the mass wavering will lead to the mass rout any second now, especially if the general goes. There he goes. End of the game. Scrambles takes the series 2-0. See you back on the main menu. And there it is. Scrambles is taking the series 2-0 in our last quote-unquote real battle of the winners round 1. There are 2 other battles left to do, but there are sort of special circumstances surrounding those 2, so I'll talk about those when I get to them. In the meantime, let's see, I think I have one of those battles, so I'll be doing that one next. But after that, we're going to be moving on to winners round 2 and losers round 1, so tournament's just getting started. I know it feels like it's been going forever, right? It's been, what, 2 weeks? Yeah, I think just over 2 weeks. And the longest round of the tournament is done. Just about, at least. 2 more battles, like I said, but whatever. Really looking forward to those matches, but looking back on those battles, I think Doni had a chance in both of those battles, but maybe some poor decision making with his cavalry ended up kind of ruining it for him there, though both of these players having some weaknesses that we saw in the videos, so going to have to watch them closely in winners round 1 or winners round 2 and losers round 1. So great matchup from them. That is the last full series I believe that we have, so hope you enjoy winners round 1. Looking forward to more matches in the future. Thanks for watching, everybody.